Hey, 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 hey. It's for Dana Lash. Apparently, I'm assuming that you work for the Blaze, or used to. You might still, as far as I know of. I used to listen to the Blaze, but I didn't know that you used to work for him. And it made sense after because I remember seeing quite a few of the Blaze, channels. What is it, from the Blaze? Something Report. I love those like main video channels that y'all did. The Real Report or something like that. But no, apparently Dana Lash is an NRA person, and you know what? I'm an NRA member as well. I was raised on guns. I was raised how to use them properly, how to safely work on them and use them around people, family, and that even though a gun is not loaded, you do not aim or point the gun at somebody. Even I know, heck, years ago, my dad used to tell me, years ago, that they used to bring guns to school. They would put them in the principal's office, and then they'd go to class, and then after class, they'd pick their guns up, and then walk out and go hunting or do whatever they wanted to do. Can you believe that? That's what my dad used to tell me. They for real used to just drop their guns off in the office, go to school or class, and when it was done with class, they'd go to the principal's office, pick their guns up, wherever they left them at, and then carry on. Nobody thought about shooting kids. Nobody thought about shooting your friends. Who does that? For real. You go to school with all these kids, all these people you know. Heck, even I did. I went to school. Yes, I had bullies. I had people pick on me who don't. But it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. Yeah, at the point, it was, if I remember right, it was pretty bad. But all I did was I yelled at them, teachers got into them, calmed it down, everything was fine. Till the next day, of course, or 2-3 days later, they pick on you again. But not one time did I think about bringing a gun to school. Not one time. Not once. If anything, I wanted to throw a book at the boy or beat him with a stick or something. I was that mad. I could have literally beat him with a book. But being that the teacher was there and I didn't want to get in a whole lot of trouble, I just stood up to him and yelled at him. And I still today know who the kid is, but I ain't mentioned his name here on on YouTube. Just because social media, the way it works, I'm not trying to get that out there. Hell, that's been a long time ago. He's got a kid by now with somebody. You don't do that. Heck, people change. That's kid stuff. It's growing up. It's all it is. It's all about growing up. I forgive him. Heck, if I ran into him today, I could be able to talk to him and pick on him about it. You know what? Even today, I guarantee you, he'd still be a dick about the whole thing. But I bet he'd be less of one. I really do. I bet he would. But anyways, no, it's Dana Lash. I'm with the NRA. I'm a member. Joined an extra year. I'm a 6-year member. And you know what? I am willing to even go that extra mile for a lifetime member. I will pay, what is it, $1,000 and something to be a lifetime member. I mean, there's an expiration date on that. But either way, I'm willing to fork out whatever I need to that I have to keep our rights to bear arms, which is our Second Amendment right. And I love guns because I was raised on them. I was taught how to use them. I was, as a child, brought up into that. My sister was too, and so was my brother. We were all brought up. We were all taken out to our grandparents, and we all used guns. We all shot. I loved it. The power and the reinforcement of a gun going off, the recoil, the power, and what the gun was used for. My dad taught me that it was to protect the family. That's what we were raised on. It was to protect the family. If somebody came in, barged into your house, and wanted to overtake you as the father, the man of the household, and then hurt your children or hurt your wife, no. What if you're at work? Your wife is there to protect your children. She's got to have a gun. Because, yes, statistically it is, men are stronger than women. And that is just biological. That is the way it was meant to be. And to protect your kids, your children, the woman needs a gun. I will tell you, if a woman fires a round at a person that's breaking into your home, I guarantee you, if it don't hit them, it will surely enough scare them enough to run outside the house and run away from the premise. It will. Until the police arrive, because the police, yes, they're there to serve you as a citizen. They're there to serve and protect. But they can't be there in a second as a crime is happening. And your family is what is more important. And people do not realize that. What are you going to do when a crime's happening at that moment in time? Women, what about you? What if a crime happens at that time and your kids are in jeopardy and you need a way to protect them and you can't because you have one or two men overtaking you and your husband ain't home to help you? What do? You're helpless. Your children can't do much because they're little, they're small, they can't overtake them. But if you teach your children how to use a gun, like my dad taught us, and where the gun was at, and where to go to get it, how to load it, and how to use it, and if mom is in trouble, where to go to get the gun. Yes, you daggone right we knew. We knew what our dad taught us, and we didn't care. We knew the legal reasons. We knew how to protect mom. If mom needed help, if she told us to do something, we did it. That is family. That is what I love the most about what our dad taught us, is how to protect the family. And you know what? That we listened to our dad. We really did. Luckily, we didn't have to use any of that, but we knew about it. But that's what I'm saying. And this Dana Lash, that is an NRA member, she's, God bless her soul, I love her to death. And she's right. On so many levels, she can be a person that you can trust. And the leftists that are out there, they don't want us to be dependent on ourselves. They want us to be dependent on government. You have to be dependent on yourself. You have to. The police will not always be. Look how many people are in this population. Look how many people's own houses or at jobs. Nobody's going to be home for you. Your neighbors can't help you all the time. You have to defend yourself. And a gun can do that. It's just like a vehicle. I don't understand it. How can they blame a gun for something that a car can do, a knife can do, a pair of scissors can do, a stick? If you sharpen a stick just right, it can kill somebody. Why a gun? Because a projectile can leave a barrel of a weapon and strike somebody within miles of distance? So can a bow and arrow. So can a crossbow. You don't see them picking on crossbows or bow and arrows, do you? You don't hear about them the media talking about kids bringing crossbows to school and hitting them with arrows. Yeah, that's not as quick as what a gun can do. Because when you shoot an arrow, you got to reload the arrow, and it takes a little time for a crossbow. But I'm telling you, you could kill somebody. You could kill quite a few people with just a regular standard, compound bow. If you can pull a bat, depending on what the strength level is on the compound bow. But you don't see any of that. It's guns. Why is it guns? Well, I'm going to tell you why it's guns. Because if you know anything about the book, Behold a Pale Horse, it was written years ago. They have what you call the Orion Project. And it talks about kids being heavily medicated or some kind of narcotics they're on. They're on a drug that causes schizophrenia, that causes... It's a mind-altering drug. And it's causing these kids to go into these schools and shooting the schools up. And they knew about it. And this is all planned. It's all a plan. It was already designated. It was created by the Freemasons, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was done by the so-called Illuminati, Freemasons. 33 degree is the top Freemason. You've got, I can't think of the dude's name off the top of my head right now, but if you looked it up, this was all planned. It was planned. And here it is. It's happening. It's in motion. And the whole reason why they're doing this is to take over America. The New World Order, One World Order, can't start. It won't happen without the United States being a part of the New World Order. And they know that they can't get it to go without the United States being disarmed. Because how can you have a New World Order where everybody is disarmed if the United States is not disarmed? And there are some other things that I've heard that United Nations, there are some people with the blue helmets in our country from other nations, and they can't or won't take over without our country being disarmed. Because they know that the citizens here of the United States will fight back. Because our Constitution says, and just like our law enforcement officers, our soldiers, military, and the oath, you will fight for somebody that is coming in to our land, our homeland, or away from our homeland. So what they're going to fight within it or coming to it. They know this. They have to disassemble the Second Amendment to get over on us, to tell us how we are going to live for this new world order to work. And there will be, just like the Bible states, I'm a Bible thumper, call me as it is. But there's going to be an Antichrist. There's going to be a guy that comes in, a one world leader, and he's going to say, you're going to live like this to the whole world, and if you don't, off with your head. And they need that mark that we're all going to take on our right hand or our forehead to keep track of us. And that's what it's all about. Nobody wants to believe it. Nobody's, oh no, that's just fetish. That's all. No, I'm a firm believer. That's where it's going. They got to get everybody into compliance to it, though, because if they can't get everybody into compliance with it, and the United States is a big play in it. If you know anything about history, if you know anything about the Bible, if you know anything, and period, just anything about history, look what's going on with Russia. Russia is the bear. Russia's going to be the hook to bring all nations into the fight that God's talking about. God knows this already. Russia's going to be the main key of it. And there's going to be a big war. A big one. And it's going to be nuclear. And what'd they say? A third? No, that ain't right. I'm thinking about a third of the angels from the beginning of the Bible, where a third of the angels were casted down to earth. A lot of people are going to die on this earth, a lot, because of the nuclear bombs. But all I'm saying is, United States right now is they're picking on the guns. They're not picking on the bows. They're not picking on anything else. They're picking on the guns. There's a reason for that, because our Second Amendment right, we have the right to bear arms. That does not mean your regular arms. It means guns. And don't think because our Declaration of Independence, our constitutional rights, are old, outdated. No, they're not. They're not outdated. Without the right to protect yourself, you do not have the right to freedom of speech. You don't have the freedom of your Fourth Amendment right, which is to keep somebody from an officer, somebody of the law, to come into your house, search your house without a warrant, any kind of reason, a probable cause, even to search your property. You don't have any of that. They can just do whatever the heck they want. But that's all I'm saying is, I'm a member of the NRA. I was raised on guns. I was taught how to use guns. I've shot guns. I've shot all types of guns. And I'm telling you, without those guns, without what the cops have, we need in order to keep the government and the political system in check. Without all of that, and they got the better weapons, we cannot keep the government in check. As a father figure, as a man of the household, as men of the citizen, we are the militia. Okay, we have the right to bear arms, and we have the right to hold a well-regulated militia. We, the people, are the one that keeps the government in check. Because without that, our forefathers knew that the government was going to rule over the people. So they knew that we had to have arms. And you give our arms up, the government will overrule the people. It's bound to happen. Benjamin Franklin said it best. He said, "Those who give up freedom for security deserve neither." And that is perfectly well said. You give up your security for freedom, for liberty. You don't deserve neither. Because you're putting your security in charge of somebody else. Okay, that's what they're teaching us. Not to protect ourselves. We got to call on government. We got to call on somebody else to come and help us. Okay? Oh, help us. Help us. We're in trouble. Why? You don't have to be in trouble. If you can defend your own house and do it yourself, you don't need help. And you know what? You don't need help defending yourself against a tyrannical government either. Because that's what's going to happen. I mean, look at the people that's coming over here and they're saying they're from foreign countries. They're coming over here and they're seeing the same thing that's happened in their country and letting us know about the same thing that's happened already in their country. And they're scared because they come here for the safety. And right now they're secure, they're safe. They're a free nation. As a nation, as a citizen of this nation, they're free. But they're seeing stuff that's happening and they're warning us and they're letting us know that slowly, little by little, we're getting our rights stripped away from us. And you know what? These guns are our very last right. Without our guns, you can't defend yourself and you won't be able to. So I'm just letting everyone know that's our God-given right to protect every single one of us. Don't let the media say, yes, there probably are kids that are killing other kids in school. But I'm letting you know, there is a higher elite that are using your... I'm not saying this is truly happening, but they're using your children to get to you. And if you let them teach your children from school, and you're not staying focused on your kids, you're not being with your kids, finding out what they're learning in school and stuff like that, they will teach your kids eventually from generation to generation on different parts of history that ain't history. They will re-educate them. Kind of like a re-education camp. And get them away from our history. And over the course of time, they can change history. And slowly, history will repeat itself. But you know what? It's going to take people like many others out there and me to fight for our nation, to fight for you. To say that what our government is doing is not right. And we will. We will fight for you. God bless y'all. Bye.